Hello, everyone, and good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the London session market color with the value flow trading team and our boss, Olufukeji Adegbeye, Ejimi Adegbeye. And of course, this session is proudly sponsored by Okta, formerly known as Okta FX. Welcome to today's analysis. And we'll be going straight into analysis on indices class and also commodity asset class. By indices, I mean the US 30, NAS 100, and also S&P 500. Good morning, Olabode SA, and good morning, Chris. How has been your trading week so far? Today is Tuesday, has been the trading week so far. Hope you're making some profits, and if you're not making profits, hope you're not losing money, right? If you're not losing money, you're definitely making profits. All right, how's it been? How's it been? Hope we're good, hope we're fine. I want to believe we are all doing well. All right, quickly this morning we'll be going through indices asset class. We'll be starting with US 30. And before we start, like our normal routine that we do, we like to implore every one of us to to share the link to this market color to people are interested in trading, communities that are full with trading enthusiasts. Please do well to send the link to as many as possible. Mind you, this session always starts by 8:30, right? The sessions begin by 8:30. So 10 minutes before the time we usually hop, right? For those that are really interested, we'll just play our intro songs for the next 10 minutes, and then by 8:30 on the dot we begin. So I used to notice that some people just come and then they see that there's no activity, they log out again. The session actually starts by 8:30, right? And then we just come online and then be prepared for 10 minutes before the actual session. All right, that being said, let's move straight into the chart for indices today. And by indices, I mean I'll be starting with the US 30, right? Known as the Dow Jones. All right, it's very beautiful this morning because our analysis is now beginning to work out. We've seen how price moved from this zone to the upper zone to the new higher high. That's the higher high that was created after the post-election rally, this rally to the upside, and then we saw a correction. Then price came to the upper part. So we mentioned the last time on this market color session that we are expecting price to come to this zone here because we had an inefficiency in price. That's number one. Number two, there's a fair value gap just below it, right? So I personally want to think that we'll still see US 30 sell even further to the downside, right? Because of this fair value gap beneath, and also there's a fair value gap beneath this place here. So, but then this gap has not been totally filled yet. Yeah, it has not been totally filled yet. I believe it will be completely filled up because with the price, with the market, there can't be inefficiency in price. There can't be a gap. There will always be a candle to fill it up. All right. That being said, I am looking at a sell-off of the US 30 of US 30, right? I'm looking at sell-off of Dow Jones. However, where am I looking for it to sell to? Remember this analysis we had the last time. This fair value gap that is a bit hidden. This fair value gap that is a bit hidden, and then we have an order block just sitting below it. So I'm expecting that price is going to sell off from this zone. There's a box pattern here on the 1 hour time frame. The question now is, will price get to that point before it start reversing? Now, mind you, we have a kind of support stone resistance here this week here. I'm looking at it. Would price just want to tap above it and then start pointing to the downside? Let me not confuse us and just continue with the analysis. So, like I said, on the higher time frame, we're beginning to see like a correction to the downside for us to start buying again to the upside, and that's to continue the bullish movement we've seen on US 30. However, on the 4-hour time frame, I want to sell off. I want to sell off a bit to go to that zone, to those zones we're looking at, the zones we'll be looking at on the daily time frame, the fair value gaps, and fair value gaps that we'll be looking at. I'm expecting a sell-off into that zone, and if that will happen, then let's go to the 1 hour time frame. What are we looking at on the 1 hour time frame? you're beginning to see some significant move on the 1 hour time frame. Look at the clear box pattern here. A clear box pattern, right? Around this zone. Clear box pattern that might play out. So that is one that will price come all the way to this zone and then start selling off. That's a question I'm also watching out for. The second is this other block. I'm looking at price not even completely coming to this area of interest and just tapping into this other block and then pushing to the downside, because overall we have to be very, very mindful. Although we are bullish in the long run, the sell-off is quite significant, and right, price has been beginning to print what lower highs, lower lows, and lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower low, and we expect a new lower high for it to pour down to form another lower low to the downside. Okay, so I believe we are all understanding what I'm trying to say. So for me to be like a sell-off from this zone, I'm having two zones today. This will be my ultimate zone here, this first area of interest. The second will be this other block. The second will be this other block today. I want to see how price reacts. Then I'll check my entry on 5 minutes for lower time frame box pattern. Once I see it form on lower time frame, right, I'm going to engage with the market. But for today, these are what I'm looking at for. And where am I going with all of this analysis? At least I'm looking at significant price drop. Price is going to drop from any of this place to this place. The risk to reward is perfect for me. I mean, when I scale down to M5 for good entry, the risk to reward will be more than enough to cover for any minor probably early entry stop on stuff like that. All right, that's what I'm looking at for today on US 30. I believe it's clear enough. And then for the buyers, once price tap into that zone, I'll be looking to long it again to continue that movement to the upside, right? Because like I mentioned before, all through 2025, I'm very bullish across board on US 30 and NAS 100, right? I'm bullish in terms of fundamental analysis. Of course, now we are selling off. Although I said I'm bullish, we're selling off because of the temporary change in market structure. And when you see a minor change in a change in minor structure, you just have to align with it and then follow through with what is being given from the market. All right. That being said, on US 30, we'll be moving quickly to NAS 100 to see what the market has for us from that zone. I mean, this is looking pretty very nice, honestly speaking, right? If it should go the way we've seen it, then that should be a very good drop in price, like significant drop in price, which is, of course, not overall bad, because look at it, not overall bad. In fact, we have a fair value gap just below it, right? So if for any reason I see price moving the way I expect it to move, and then we are approaching this zone, I'll close probably 80%, allow the 10 to run. Should in case price want to violate this zone and then tap into this fair value gap. So I'll be watching closely to see how price reacts from this fair value gap on the 1 hour and then also on the 4 hours. That's being said, let's see how market is doing across NAS 100. That's the Nasdaq. For Nasdaq, we've not seen that significant drop in price. We're still waiting for it. And I believe if it's going to drop, it's going to be a massive one, because we've seen like a build-up of diagonal liquidity around this zone. That has built up a lot of diagonal liquidity. All right, so let's mark out the zone we're looking out for. Want to see this, like the new resistance. Sorry, the new support, right? Okay, a minute. All right, thank you. So a new support, right, has been formed, also with a lot of interesting things around it. You have fair value gap below here, and then which is quite significant, right, on the daily time frame. So price hasn't tested it before. So we expect that once price come around that zone, we should see like a rejection to the upside, for price to begin pushing to the upside again. However, like I mentioned, there's a build-up of diagonal liquidity, right? There's a whole lot of build-up around there. So if we're going to see that sharp drop, it might as well just violate all of this and then start pouring to the downside. But then let's look at what the market is doing, what that's giving us already. We don't assume for the market. We use what we have seen currently to make judgment of what exactly is going to happen. Sorry, I don't know, my mouse keep pushing it to. All right. So on the daily time, on the 4-hour time frame, in fact, on the daily time frame, we are still very, very much bullish on NAS 100 on Nasdaq, and also on the 4-hour time frame, we are very much bullish. We've not seen something significant to tell us that we are about to sell off to the downside. It's not obvious yet, and if it's not obvious, like our traders used to say, it's dubious, right? So we might as well just pause on NAS 100 uh, and wait for us to see that break of structure to the downside, probably on H1 and also on H4 before we start engaging the markets to sell it off also. Because for now, we've not seen that break of structure yet. Anybody that understand market structure would see this chart and know that, okay, we've not seen any break of structure yet, at least on 4-hour time frame, right? We can see something on 1 hour and we'll still go to 1 hour. But then on this chart we're looking at currently, there's nothing on 4-hour time frame that signifies a break of market structure, even on the daily time frame. So let's move over to 1-hour time frame if we're going to see something significant. All right, even on 1-hour time frame, even on the hourly time frame, nothing yet suggests that we are bearish to the downside. So for myself, I'm just going to wait and then see how markets is going to react. By 2:30, that will be market open, 3 o'clock depending. Yeah, 2:30. We'll see markets open and then we'll see those volatility coming again into the market. Of course, London is going to do its thing, but then it's not as significant as market open by 2:30. Okay, we've not seen anything yet on NAS 100, that's Nasdaq. So for now, I might just want to be calm for Nasdaq and don't engage the market yet until we see significant price action that suggests that we engage this market. All right, that being said, let's move quickly to S&P 500. Let's move quickly to S&P 500 before I see what is happening. Oh, sorry for that break in transmission. We are back. Apologies for that break in transmission. All right, on the daily time frame, let's look at S&P 500 quickly, and then we'll call it a wrap for today. On S&P 500, so like on the daily time frame, to those that trade liquidity concept, you see like a build up of diagonal liquidity to the upside, which is looking like something might happen. In fact, this daily candle is looking very, very significant, like an engulfing candle on the daily time frame, right? For those that understand what I'm trying to say, look at this candle engulfed it, and then the ICT guys will see it as an order block, bearish order block that price is going to tap into and then start falling to the downside. Or depending on which strategy you use to trade, all are still pointing to something very, very significant that we might start seeing like a sell-off, a minor sell-off of this asset class, right? So on the daily time frame, this looks like let me do market structure. The previous resistance turn support, right? Right, broke through it and then it's down, it supports this bullish movement. And then what are we waiting for? I'm even looking at price coming further to the downside, right? Because this is not even up to equilibrium. That's 50% of the Fibonacci line. So let's look at the 4 hours and see if there's something significant that is happening. All right. we've seen like the first break of structure, right? We've seen like the first break of structure, which is this line here. Like the first break of structure. However, I want to see multiple break of structure to the downside, probably 2 or 3 that will give us that confidence, to begin to engage this market. For now, what we're seeing is like a first break. Unlike Nasdaq, that's NAS 100 that we've not even seen any break. We've at least something significant is already happening on this time frame, on the 4-hour time frame. So I want to see like a further break of structure again to the downside, probably a retest of this first break and then to the downside, and then I will start engaging the market. And of course, if we start selling off this market, it's a long ride to the downside because of, let me use our Fibonacci tool and then measure it. To be a long ride to the downside, at least 50%, right? At least 50%, which is this zone here. The sell-off. So let's come back to 1 hour. So if we, for any reason, see that retest and then price is beginning to, let me give examples so we see what I'm trying to say. Like a retest of this zone or even this fair value gap, right? And then price beginning to move to the downside. You should know that automatically we entering this market, you are heading for 50%, right? 50%, which is around this zone here. If I'm not wrong. Yes, it's around this zone here. So that is what I'll be looking out for S&P 500. And then I'll sit on this trade. Most likely I'll just swing it, right? Probably reduce the risks on it or use the full normal risks I use. And then once I've gotten like the normal RR I'm aiming for, allow the rest to run, because this looks like a very good swing. If everything goes our way, it will be a very smooth ride to the downside. And also, if we're beginning to, take the ride to the upside, it's still very good because overall we are bullish. However, on the minor structure side of things, we're beginning to see a change, right? And then the market doesn't just move one way, one directional. For every impulse move to the upside, you're going to see a correction. So we are banking on this correction in the market to, take our trade. That being said, we've come to the end of the analysis for indices. Do we have any questions so far? Do we have any question? Do you have any question? Mr. Chris, Mr. Christian, Mr. Pama, Tankat. Apologies if I mispronounced your name. Mr. Michael, Oluwasheyoni. Good morning. Somadina, do we have any questions so far regarding this analysis? Before we call it a wrap, do we have any question? Do we have any question? Was it helpful? Was it helpful? Let me know in the chat box if it was. Let me know in the chat box. Was it helpful? All is clear, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Once again, Chris, yeah, it was helpful. Thank you so much. So once again, thank you for joining the market scholar session. We'll be reconvening by 2 for our New York market scholar session, and then we would look at the possibility in the market, what the market has done, if there's any need for us to change our bias or not. We'll be looking at all of that by 2 in the afternoon. That's the New York market call session. That being said, I wish you all a profitable trading. Ensure you use proper risk management if you're trading throughout this week. And mind you should know that the market volatility in December can be dicey because investors are beginning to go on vacation, right? Even the traders themselves, they are beginning to plan for vacation, for Christmas break. So you might tend to see inconsistent price action. Ensure you don't allow that to shake you. And if need be, you can zoom off for the year and then resume by January to continue trading. All right, I've said a lot. I wish you all a profitable trading. We'll meet by 2 for the New York market call session. Thank you all. Cheers and God bless.